Recording in progress.
All right, welcome and Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to the first Tualatin City Council work session of 2025. It's January 13th. I'll go ahead and call this work session into order. Our first item of business is council committee assignments. So with that, I've gotten emails from pretty much almost all the councilors saying they don't want to change their assignments, but Council Reyes had a suggestion.
Yeah. So my suggestion is that many of us now work during the day or have some things that happen, and I wanted to see if everyone is could possibly consider having an alternate for every single committee, just in case one of us have some kind of something that just comes up, and you can call your alternate and say, "Can you take over?" or "Can you be can you be the representative?" So I was looking at the sheet, and we do have some that don't have an alternate. And even if it's just once every year or once every 2-3 years, it's good to have a second person to always be there representing us.
Do you have a slide you can throw up, or you have the piece of paper? So you
I
talk
just
about
have paper, but so the architecture.
Nicole might have it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's much
There we
better
go.
than me talking. All right. So I'll let you guys talk.
All right. So for I know the ARB is very specific. Is there even an alternate allowed for the ARB per city code or no?
It does not call it out in city code, certainly. Like, day of would be very problematic to have an alternate step in as the chair.
I mean, that one I would suggest we skip, because that's more city code, and go to the easier ones,
Yeah. Okay.
like the Arts Advisory Committee. Do we have an alternate for that? Can you shrink it a little bit where Orny can see? Thank you.
No,
Are-
it's listed on that.
There's just nothing in that.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So is there anyone interested in being the alternate to Bridget?
For the arts.
For the Arts Advisory? Is anyone interested in being the alternate? Okay. So get Councilor Hillier as the alternate for that?
Oh, so that was earlier?
Yes. Next one is Core Area Parking Board. Again, that's another one where by city code, do we have to have, is there an alternate allowed? For core area? Because that's not as intense as ARB. Sorry.
It's only like 4 times.
It's only 4 times.
Yeah.
Again, I do not believe it's called out in the code, allowing or disallowing. It's just not called out. I'd be glad to do that one because it's 4 times a year and I've been on it.
It's virtual. You can do virtual too.
Yeah, it's 4 times a year and I've been on it before, and
Okay.
so it's not that often.
Right, so Councilor Pratt is an alternate for that.
And I can chat with you in case.
For the CCAA, in the event that 2 people can't make it, might be good to have an alternate.
We typically just find dates where everyone can attend.
Yeah, we've worked that out.
We've worked it out.
Yeah.
Okay. The IDEA Committee, we already have an alternate, so that one's taken care of. Science Technology, there's 2 of them, so we're good there. We go down to, is the C4 Tolling Subcommittee even meeting anymore?
No.
Okay, so that's out. I've gotten a squint here.
Yeah, Mac.
The MAC is Councilor Gonzalez. Who would like to be Councilor Gonzalez' alternate?
I'm the alternate too. Not from a council point of view, but from
Okay.
a city point of view, so.
All right. Is there another councilor who would like to be an alternate for that?
Mac.
For the MAC? How often does it meet?
Quarterly.
Quarterly?
Is it still virtual or?
I mean, I'll do it if nobody else will do it.
I can't see the time.
It's only quarterly and
Okay.
it's at 1:30. It's in the daytime.
I was gonna say, I have a hard, 1:30 is hard for me, but if, I would take core area if you'd wanna, just so you're not picking up a bunch of things.
Well, I'd rather not do MAC. I don't,
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you had said
because it's a
that,
pain, because you have to drive to Hills, or,
yeah, I
virtual.
can't.
oh, you can do
Oh,
it
yeah.
virtual, but that's not a good time for me either.
I can do
really.
that, I can do that one.
You
Okay,
could
so
do
Bridget-
that?
During the day, yeah.
We're just doing that
Yeah.
one.
That's hard.
Where were we?
And
Uh,
I think that I'm already the
The water.
alternate for the regional water providers, and I
Yeah.
think, Bridget, you're the alternate for Willamette.
Yeah.
okay.
I probably shouldn't be though, because the reason why I stepped off it was because it's a conflict with, oh, sorry. New year, new habits. I probably shouldn't be, because I think the reason I stepped off it, because it runs into another meeting that I have to try to race to, so,
Which one's that?
take that alternate for the water consortium.
Okay.
Right.
it's not the water, it's the Willamette Water.
It is the
Yes, the Lima yeah.
consortium.
The Willamette River Water Coalition?
Yes, the coalition.
Okay, coalition.
We already have consortium.
Waka. Is that what we say it?
Make sure they got it all down first. All right. For WACA 911, Councilor Hilliard's the primary. Who would like to be alternate for that?
Where's that one?
It's 3 o'clock on Thursdays.
Out in Hillsborough.
Yeah, I can't do that one. 3 o'clock. There we go.
Yay.
Who's it?
Oh, no, it's different time.
911.
3 p.m., yeah.
And this is in person?
Be either.
Oh, me.
Anyone?
I'll
Yeah,
take that, I can take that one.
It's also budgeting, like, it's quarterly, but we also have budgeting meetings and such.
Okay. Octavio said he'll take that one.
Yes.
Octavio is already my alternate on the coordinating committee. Hey, my name's spelled wrong. What the heck? All right.
Good thing we're going to.
Wait. Where was that city count? Where was the city manager review? Bring it back. All right. Look, we have an alternate for the PAB. We have an alternate for WEA, and we already took care of the River Water Coalition. So I
Who's
think
doing the River Water Coalition? The alternate?
the alternate is
Octavio.
it's Octavio.
Oh.
That look good, Sherlyn?
It's all the same.
Yes.
Oh, look at that.
If you
10
speak
minutes,
Spanish,
just like
like
skip.
That-
Octavio.
Yeah, and the city attorney and I conferred on the ARB, what makes, do you want to
Because
talk to
that's
that?
like a it has some,
Yeah, Mayor, I would recommend that an alternate not be put on the Architectural Review Board. The reason being, number one, it's a quasi-judicial body, and that's always a problem when there's a potential appeal to the city council, and having more than one city councilor appointed potentially or involved in that board. The other one is just the plain language of the code, and I'm looking at 11.8020 2 and 3, and it subsection 2 specifically lists out the board members, and there's one member of the city council. And then you go to subsection 3, it allows only for alternate professional members, and there's a provision for that to specifically allow for alternates on the professional members. There's nothing, no language like that for city
Okay.
councilors.
that's fine. All right. Anything else on item number 1?
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
good. All right. Item number 2, recurring proclamations for 2025.
Yeah, do you mind if I sit here and do it, or
That's
do you want me to come down? While Bates pulls that up, or now it's already up, but just back on the committee assignments, we will reach out to the committees and to the liaisons for the committees and make sure that everybody knows of the contact information and who's on first on all of those. Confirm. Yes, so this was in your packet. Back on December 9th, you approved the proclamations policy, and that has 4 tiers. So the first tier is proclamations that are directly related to the City of Tualatin organization. We've listed a number of them here, the recurring ones that we know of, including Employee of the Year, Arbor Month, etc. Tier 2 are those from a branch of government or organization that the city is funding, so like Community Development Month, which comes from the county, or Domestic Violence Awareness Month, which is on the next page, that comes from an organization that the city is funding. Tiers 3 and 4 include requests, tiers 3 include requests from community partners, and there are a number that come up, or several that come up, including Small Business Saturday, that usually comes up from the chamber, Red Ribbon Week from our partners at Tualatin Together, and I believe those are the ones that are tier 3. That come up every year, and technically they require council approval before they get on the agenda. And then tier 4 are ones that kind of fall under the other everything else, kind of this general category, that also include ones that are on your next agenda item that come up as a request from community members. There are a number of them on here, including Gun Violence Awareness Month, Pride Month, which, yeah, Juneteenth, that has happened before, 9/11 Remembrance Day, Hispanic Heritage Month, and Native American Heritage Month. So our ask is that you say yes or no on these, and so then we can agendize them without coming forward with a request from either idea committee or a community member or one of you, or it just gets missed. So, yeah.
Discussion.
I had a question.
Okay, Council Brooks.
I had a question. My thing's not up, but
Can you scroll down a little bit more, Bates, because there's a page 2.
there's no page 2.
Mine's got a page 2. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
That is page 2.
Yeah.
So, the only thing that I don't see on here is, that I'm wondering about is, especially since we do the months, that I think Black History Month and Martin Luther King Day is February, which I don't see at all on here, and we have a national holiday, and so I'm just wondering if we could add that, amend it.
I feel like that would be. We've never done a Martin Luther King proclamation, so that's not technically a recurring one, since
Okay.
we've never done one. And we've never done Black History Month. So if that is a request from the council, I mean, maybe it does go on here, but that feels like a little bit of a different process than the recurring ones. But ask your fellow council members
Yeah, I'm
whether-
just wondering if it could be one of our recurring ones. That's kind of where
Thank you.
it comes into play for me. And I'm curious about if the other counselors would be interested in amending this to add those 2 acknowledgements.
Council Sacco.
I'd be supportive of that. I think it falls in line with the other proclamations. It seems like it is a gap, so I appreciate you acknowledging that.
Council Sacco. That's Council Hillier.
So I guess I wonder then, do we add President's Day and Veterans Day and all the other days then? I guess I'd like to, if we're going to add Martin Luther King Day, are we going to add all the other days?
Yeah, go ahead, Council Brooks.
I'm open to any of those things if we have the rationale of those days. We do celebrate Veterans Day and Memorial Day, so I do feel that the city acknowledges those 2 days in different ways, but I'm open to the will of the council. I just was noticing nothing for Martin Luther King Day or Black History Day. It's not that comfortable for me.
So what if it were just Black History Month and not MLK Day? Because it's a federal holiday, it's a state holiday.
Yeah, I was just challenging,
Yeah.
like, the process, like, if we're gonna call out a month, I get that. If we're gonna call out, then holidays, do we do 4th of July? Do we
Right.
do, like, where are we?
Right.
On
Yeah.
just the logic
Yeah.
of the process, that's really all I'm after.
Council Pratt.
I like,
Council Reyes.
well, I like the idea of at least including Black History Month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of Black History Month too. I don't know about MLK, but I think we can always honor him as we are here and we go in, because I think it's next week. I mean, it falls different. But the month is February of Black History Month, so that, I'm in favor of that one.
I think you got a majority for Black History Month.
Okay,
ahead.
we add Black History Month.
So with that addition, are people happy with the reoccurring proclamations? Council Brooks.
The only other one with months would be might be Women's History Month. What I'm thinking off the top of my head. Just, these are the ones that I've been in the caucus meetings for, so it's a big enough conversation even at a national level for cities that I'm just curious if that's.
I hear any other yeses on this one? Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
So you're gonna have a lot of marches and then you gotta get Arbor, you got community development. Yeah, Councilor Sacco, you got a lot of ones in March then.
Yeah, and I was just looking up Women's History Month. I mean, I'd be open to looking at what a sample of that looks like, and maybe that's the process to kind of understand what it's all about, because I know a lot about Black History Month. I don't know a lot about Women's History Month, actually. And so it'd be interesting to kind of see just what it's all about. Maybe that's a starting point.
Okay. So we've got the one ad for recurrent proclamations, or thumbs up on this? All
I
right.
think the one-offs, like, could be like
Yeah.
that one, women's, but these are recurring ones. And then we added the Black History.
Okay. Yeah, what you need with that, Sherilyn?
Yes, I did. And as ones come up, we have a process for raising that, so.
Like this next one?
Or, I mean, these next ones came from outside, but
Right.
you can raise them as well.
So if Counselor Brooks brought to us Women's History Month and we said we're going to do this proclamation, then what would happen the next year, following year? It wouldn't be automatically on the recurring list, but how would we make that decision going forward?
I could think of a couple of ways. One might be at the time that it gets brought up, it's like, could we do this every year? Or perhaps we have something like this the first meeting of every year and say, what do you approve for recurring ones?
All right, that brings us to item number 3. We have 2 proclamation requests, one from Bloodworks Northwest, and the second is from, I'm going to butcher this, Hindu Swajavek Sang, USA. Is there a presentation on this, or are we just discussing it? All right, so let's take on the Bloodworks Northwest, requesting a proclamation for Blood Donor Month. How do people feel about, you've seen the sample proclamation. How do people feel about adding this, approving this proclamation request? Council Pratt.
Well, I'm pretty supportive of this one because it's important to the, especially if we have an emergency situation, it's important that we help promote this.
Okay. Others? Council Hillier.
I'm also supportive of this particular one. It affects all of the community members, whether we're giving or potentially receiving, and it's an important part of being civically engaged, in my opinion.
Okay.
I
Councilor
also
Gonzalez.
am supportive of that as well, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I support it as well. I think that it's a community engaged portion of who we are, so, yeah, I
Okay.
support it.
I'm on board too, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm very supportive. I just want to say too, my mom passed away of leukemia, and she had to do a lot of platelet donations too, and all the terrible things that have been happening with weather events and everything else where we really need donations. I think it's a really important conversation, and for people to know if they're universal donors or not, and some more education about what you can do. Thanks.
Okay, so that one's approved. So the second one's for a Health for Humanity Yogathon campaign. How folks feel about that one? Council Brooks.
I love yoga and all of that. I'm just curious if it could be more of an announcement, because it seems like it's an event more than a proclamation.
I agree with you on that one.
But I'm
Yeah.
happy that we would make an announcement. And
Councilor Pratt.
I agree, and when I was thinking of this, like, I love yoga, but like, I'm part of a nonprofit running club. Are we gonna, it could go on and become an endless proclamations for every activity, so, but I like the announcement idea a lot.
Council Reyes and Councilor Hillier.
Yeah, I'm more like in favor of promoting it as we do our roundtables versus having a proclamation of everybody does. Maybe one day we'll have like a health, I don't know, and that will include everything, so. Yeah, but for right now, I would say no to this one.
Councilor Hillier.
Thank you. I guess even to have an announcement, I'm confused as to where the event is or what it, I'm still not confused in Hillsborough or Tigard, and I think there's a process, and not in favor of this one.
Right.
Sorry, that didn't
I mean,
come
they-
out
they-
very,
if they
that didn't
want-
come out very well. All the
No,
things
no.
in my head
I know where you were
merged.
going.
I apologize. I'm like, it just, first off, the application says we're the city of Tigard. It's
Yeah, they
it's
got
a
it.
Hillsborough resident. It's not a resident of our
Right.
own bringing it. Yeah, the language in the sample is questionable, and I'm not opposed to celebrating things, but I'm confused about this at this stage
No,
of it.
yeah. Councilor Sacco.
I'm along the same lines, and as far as an announcement or like event support, I went to their website after receiving the packet to do some research. I don't know, what they're all about, and maybe even inviting them to do, like during comments or something to come speak, and that way, it's not like an endorsement if I don't really understand it either, exactly what all the organization does. And I'm sure it's a great organization, I just don't, I'm not quite sure, it'd be nice to hear directly from them to understand.
Yeah. So that one's a no.
So no proclamation. Would you like us to reach out to them and offer that they could come to a council meeting to make the announcement under citizen
comment.
comments?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
All right, so that brings us item number 4, council meeting agenda review, communications and roundtable. Anyone have any questions or concerns with the consent agenda tonight? Okay, I believe it's Councilor Reyes. I think you're up for the pledge tonight, I think. All right. We have no proclamations. Is the police officer going to be available tonight? Is he going to have a call? All right. With that, we'll go ahead and start the roundtable, and we'll start with Councilor Sacco, newly reelected.
Thank you. So, happy holidays, everyone. We're the first meeting back from New Year's, and so I don't really have a lot, just that I just wanted to thank the city for putting on a great event for the for the swearing in of the new counselors. It was interesting to go through both processes through COVID and then this great event that the city put on, so thank you. And so happy to be here for another term.
Newly elected, re-elected Councilor Hilliard.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to echo Counselor Sacco's comments to the city and staff. It was very nice. And the community members that attended were really, really pleased that they took the time. I did have a meeting with, on December 19th. Now I have MAC in my head. It was, sorry, because I was on that before. The Washington County Communication. I never say it right. But we met and kind of did a happy holidays, but we're kind of getting prepared for our budgeting in January. So we'll be more next month on that.
Councilor Reyes.
Yeah, we had an official meeting last December, and it was, all right, maybe I did say this last meeting, I can't remember. But if I didn't say this last meeting, the committees met, we met with some committee members not committee members, sorry. Volunteers that are wanting to join our committees. And it was wonderful, like always, and we, not sure if, like I said, I don't remember if I said this last week, but it's always a wonderful time to spend with a lot of our community members. Community members are wanting to volunteer and be advisors to the council and be a voice to the community. So I'm always thankful for them. And it was me, Councilor Pratt, and Councilor Sacco, and we are always honored to talk to the people that come in and tell us why they're passionate about our city. So thank you all, and I believe there's been a selection, and we're happy that these committee members are going to join some committees. Thank you.
Councilor Gonzalez.
Happy New Year, everybody. It's been very quiet on my end. So I'm excited to join, or at least be alternate for some of these other committees because my work's been very light. So thank you.
Councilor Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor, and congratulations on the re-elections to my fellow councilors. Since our last meeting, I did meet with the Arts Advisory Committee meeting. We met in person and went through many proposals. We received many proposals for the new signal box art wraps. And I just really want to acknowledge we received proposals from out of the country, and just really want to acknowledge the Arts Committee's work on helping to create a really good request for proposal application as well as procedure. It's really improved over the years since I've been on council. I also attended the the new member breakfast for the chamber and listened to what the updates are for this year, and welcomed some new business members and our new business liaison from the city, and also attended the Titanium Committee meeting, which is the new level of membership for the Chamber of Council and the Chamber of Commerce, and it's focused on manufacturing businesses. So I'm working on reaching out to various businesses in our community to help with interest. If people want to know more information, it's really exciting new development. Please feel free to reach out. And then on that's a Thursday the 9th, I attended the PAB meeting for Washington County. The biggest part of that meeting was a presentation about the two new treatment facilities, how they're coming along with construction, where they fit into the county organization, and they will be the facilities that our citizens can also attend. There's inpatient as well as outpatient. There's housing services, and they're partnering with other various organizations and still working out details like transportation and things like that, which is something I was asked about because we're at this end. There was also something that I was curious about and want to bring up too, is there was a comment from the presenter about a concern that some of the money might not go there, and a reassurance that it will. The concern was because some money for social services is supposedly slated to move from state direction, but the money for this is captured in, is already captured in results from like the opioid settlement and different things like that, and it has already been like approved to go to this project. So I don't know what the other social services that will be impacted by the proposed measure, and I'm not sure even what it is, from the state around reducing social services and moving some of that money for building houses. But I thought I would bring that up because it seems topical, and I don't understand where the impact of that is, so I'm just being transparent on being in the process of learning more. And then I just also want to say that some of my time too I've spent talking to people that are friends and family that have been impacted by the fires in California, and just thinking and sending my best prayers. I know that our community has a lot of ties to California. The area of devastation is just outsized from anything else that we've seen, and it also just reinforces my commitment to our climate action plan and the things that we've been doing as a city, and it makes me feel proud that we've been doing those things. And finally, I also wanted to acknowledge that during the official day of mourning for former President Carter's memorial, watching those statements and all of the memorials towards him was a very moving experience. It's on YouTube. If you haven't had a chance to listen to what people said about his work and his public service, do yourself a favor and check it out. Thank you.
Newly reelected Council President Pratt.
Thank you, and it was wonderful swearing in, and kudos to Erica for the awesome food. It was amazing. Back in December, we had the Tualatin Community Police Foundation. I participated in the Shop with a Cop event, and I was with Officer Rankin, and we had a young man that, well, he was very quiet, and I'm sure he didn't like shopping because I asked him. So what I learned that day was that our officers are very patient. And then we had a new event this year, which was called Toys in the Trunk, and so we bought a lot of toys, 3 shopping carts full, and we joined forces with Tualatin Together, Neighborhood Health Center, and Latino Community Wellness, and did an event at Las Casitas Park with TVFNR also, and it was very fun. Everybody had a great time that day, and so I was really appreciative of getting to be part of that. And then this last Thursday, I have the C4 meeting, and big surprise here, Mayor Bubenik. We talked about the supportive housing services and how what's being proposed would be very devastating to Clackamas County.
All right. It was kind of nice to have a break for a little bit over the holidays, but picked up pretty quickly. I met with Erin Chen, the field rep for Congresswoman Salinas, discuss, what the city's needs are, what it's looking like in DC, and, possible changes that will happen with the new administration. I shared with Sherilyn already that I said, well, I'll be going to DC in March. I'm looking forward to meeting with Congresswoman Salinas in a separate meeting than the roll, when we all pile into her office at one time. And I asked about her office, and was passed on to me that she has a new office. She's moved upstairs, and that the funny part about that is her new office was the former office of Marjorie Taylor Greene. So I was joking with her, did you have a shaman come in and demonize it inside? And they were joking about having a sage burning ceremony also. But congratulations to the Congresswoman. I guess the staff area has some more space. Her staff in DC was cramped. Now they get a little bit more space to work on her agenda. The other thing with today was the Washington County Coordinating Committee had a 3-hour meeting today. Part of it was a education of the new mayors. We have 3 or 4 new mayors that are now part of the Coordinating Committee. We reviewed what the Coordinating Committee's purpose is. We reviewed MISTIP. We reviewed the Opportunity Fund. And we also talked about the city's budget, the county's budget issue, and the steps that are going to be taken to rethink, just like the state has to rethink transportation funding, so does the county, and where the fund's going to come. They are envisioning a hit on MISTIP. To what extent yet, they don't know, but they promised that it would not affect the existing projects in 3F. So 3F is the Cypole Road roundabout. Is that our project for this cycle? I brought up then you're basically kicking the can down on future projects. There'll be less money for 3G projects. We already had to trim down the list for this one, so we're going to be barely, be able to pay off the 3F things. So there will not be any big projects probably in the next cycle due to funding. So they have to fix this funding issue. We also talked about Opportunity Zone, that the new chair was elected. So Mayor Rosner is now the new chair of the Coordinating Committee, and Mayor Pace is the vice chair. I was elected to be put on the R1 Act. So I'll still have my finger. Oh, yeah, we'll tag team it. So that's the ODOT committee that supposedly advises ODOT on this region's highways and stuff. And then in this afternoon was the mayor's meeting with Chair Harrington. The big subject of discussion, no surprise, was supportive housing, Washington County's take on it, the latest changes as of noon today from Metro. I guess the county chairs had a meeting with President Peterson, and new things were put out that the chairs were surprised by, so we'll hear about it, I assume, in a little while. If not, I will ask about it. And then we also talked about the budget situation. Again, the county has a $20 million plus hole. Tanya, Angie, the county administrators asked for, was it 10, 13, and 17% cuts to the county budget. Knowing that, really can't touch the jail because the jail only has one pot open. Certain things can't really be touched. So they're going to, I guess Tanya's doing her work between now and April. I guess she has occasional meetings with city managers to let them know what's going on. But as of now, we have no idea what the impacts are going to be yet. Chair Harrington has reassured us that in her monthly meetings, she'll keep the mayors in the loop of how it looks budget-wise and things that might be on the radar. But I, just envision severe cuts of Washington County services and staff reductions. And what their biggest decision, like we have to do, is say what services are essential and what are going to go bye-bye. And $20 million is a lot to cut. And hopefully they're thinking this might be the last round of cuts, that next year might be looking better, but we'll see. Other than that, I think, and then we're talking about the levies. They're talking about, what the Washington County Library levy might be, how many cents per thousand. That's still in flux, but it is on their radar to figure it out because, got to work out the details to get it on the ballot and get all the cities and as much buy-in as they can from the community in between that and the day it's on the ballot. With that, that's all I have. It's now 20 to 7, so I'll go ahead and close the work session. and we'll meet back here at 7 o'clock.